Hello, this is Manu Ginobili, and you're listening to the new home of the San Antonio Missions Baseball. Country Legends KKYX 680 AM, 104.9 FM, and KKYX.com.
And the Missions are on the field and on the mound for San Antonio, making his Double-A debut. 24-year-old right-hander Emmanuel Pinales from Bajos de Jaina, the Dominican Republic, just getting called up from Class A Fort Wayne, where he was 3-0 with a 1.4 ERA. Made 5 starts, went 25 and 2/3 innings, walked 7 and fanned 27. And leading off for the Frisco RoughRiders here in the top of the first inning will be the center fielder Alejandro Osuna. He's a left-hand batter. He carries a 17-game hitting streak into the game. 318 hitter, 2 homers, 14 RBIs. The infield toward the right will have the defensive alignment in a moment as Pinales is ready. First pitch of the ball game, and the fastball in there for a called strike, and we're underway at 11:05 p.m. Justin Juska, the umpire behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. Jonathan Rector, the umpire at first. Nate Giedrich, the crew chief, the umpire at third. The outfield toward the left, the 1-strike delivery. Breaking ball low and inside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Osuna went 1 for 3 with an RBI double in last night's 9-2 Missions win. San Antonio 2 games back of Frisco. Now the next pitch swung on, pulled foul to the first base side, and the count 1-2. On the infield for San Antonio, Devin Ortiz at first, Ripken Reyes at second, Francisco Acuna at short, Marcus Castagnone at third. White Hoffman in left, Kai Murphy in center, Josh Beers in right, Jack Bathy catching, and on the mound, Emmanuel Pinales. Now the 1-2 delivery, fastball high and away, and the count 2-2. Morales gets a fastball in the mid-90s. He can get it up there around 97. He's got a mid-80s changeup and a gyro that's in the 80s. Looks into Matthew for the sign. Right-hander kicks the 2-2 offering. Off-speed pitch just missing inside, 3-2. Missions wear the navy blue tops with the Missions logo on one side, the number in white on the other side, number in white on the back, white pants with the naval caps. Now the kick and the 3-2 delivery, outside and high, ball 4, and Osuna has the leadoff walk. So the RoughRiders have a man on with nobody out, and the DH Sebastian Walcott will be the batter. Walcott played shortstop last night, committed a key error as the Missions were able to erupt for 3 runs in the 3rd inning. Right-hand batter from the Bahamas, hitting .245, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Holding a set, Pinales delivers, and a strike call on the outside corner, 0-1. Game time temperature 77 degrees, humidity 62%, winds are southwest at 8 miles an hour. Pinales working quickly, comes set. Infield at double play depth. And now to throw to first on in time, low throw, and back safely is Osuna. As the team, Frisco has 39 stolen bases, and Osuna has 6 of them. He's been caught stealing twice. Outfield deep and straight away. Now the right-hander comes set. He delivers, and it's lifted foul to the right side and out of play, and the count 0-2, and it's going to be noisy with all the kids here on Educational Day. Good to have the youngsters coming out. On deck, the left fielder, Aaron Savala. Osuna being held on at first by Ortiz. Nobody on the first, just underway for the Wolff in San Antonio. Right-hander ready. Now the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good slider, and Walcott strikes out. 1 away. First strikeout for Pinales. Now left fielder Aaron Savala steps in. Riders left fielder hitting .169, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. But this guy has one of the strongest arms I've seen in the Texas League. He was on base 3 times last night with a double, a run scored in the 3rd, and a walk and a run scored in the 5th. Walked twice. Takes it on speed pitch low and inside, and the count 1-0. Pinales got called up with Jackson Wolff and Miguel Cienfuegos. 2 of the Mission's finest pitchers were called up to AAA El Paso. Now the right-hander staring down for the sign. He takes a lot of time out there. Now the right-hander is ready. Wearing number 9, Cienfuegos will number the delivery. On speed pitch, just missing down low. And even though Pinales has missed, he hasn't missed by much, and the count 2-0. On deck, the 3rd baseman, Caber Rodriguez. Osuna with a short lead. Now time is called. Pinellas made his last start against Dayton on May 2nd. He went 7 innings, allowed just 1 run, 4 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. And the pitch is in there for a called strike to Zavala, 2-1. Frisco has been in the Texas League since 2003. Prior to that, they were the Shreveport Captains and Swamp Dragons, the Giants affiliate, for many years. The 2-1 delivery, and this one is ripped foul. Zavala way out in front that time, 2-2. In fact, the Missions and the Riders bet in the 2003 Texas League Championship Series, with the Missions winning their 2nd straight championship. In fact, 2 years in a row, San Antonio defeated Rangers affiliates. Tulsa then a Ranger affiliate in 02, and then next year Frisco became Ranger Farm Club in 03. And the off-speed pitch pulled foul again. Count holding at 2-2. Very comfortable day. We have not had a whole lot of hot weather over the last week or so, but you could bet once we get more into the spring and summer, it's going to get a lot hotter. Mission's hoping to get hot. In fact, they are now. They've won 3 in a row. 2-2 delivery. Check swing down low. Breaking ball missing, 3-2. And I'm sure even though Pinellas is a highly touted prospect with his debut at AA, he might be having the butterflies a little bit. Walked the leadoff man Ozuna, then he struck out Walcott, and now he's behind on Aaron Zavala at 3-2.
He's throwing a lot of pitches early.
Yes, he has. Stretch. Payoff pitch on the way. Runner goes. And it's fouled off to the third base side. We'll do it again. Count holding at 3-2, and Ozuna has to go back. As the team, the RoughRiders are hitting .250. They have a number of lefties in their lineup. They had 5 last night. In fact, they have 4 today, but also switch batter in Frania Chavez, who's playing today. Now the pitch, swung on and fouled at the plate. Good jump by as soon as he was running on the 3-2 pitch. Unfortunately, Matthew could not hang on to the pitch, and now the count is still at 3-2 on Zavala.
So Matthew, he's got butterflies, you know. It's his first professional ball game. And he is out there doing the catching here this afternoon for San Antonio.
Now the stretch again by Pinellas, and the pitch just outside ball 4, and Frisco's 2 men on. So second walk allowed by Emmanuel Pinellas. That sends Ozuna down to second. Trotting down to first to Zavala. And with 1 away, it brings up the third baseman, Gabriel Rodriguez. Rodriguez off to a pretty good start, hitting .342. 1 home run and 12 runs batted in. Rodriguez had 2 hits and 4 times up last night, including a double in the 4th inning. Slightly open stance, right-hand batter. Now Pinellas delivers, and the breaking ball gets the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike on Rodriguez. He also had a 3-hit game against Corpus Christi on April 23rd, his second 3-hit game of the year. So he's really done a pretty good job. He had 3 hits and a home run 2 days later against the Hooks. There's a high drive hit toward the left field line. Racing onto his right is Hoppin, and Hoppin can't get it. Lands it for a base hit. 1 run comes in. Throw to third, not in time. Going to second, diving in with a double. Rodriguez, 3rd hit of the game, or the series rather. So as soon as scores, going to third, Zavala. Runners at second and third. Still 1 down. First hit for the Riders, and Frisco with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 1st inning. So a long run for Hoppin, who couldn't get to the ball. Landed just inside the line. By the time he got it back in, Ozuna easily scored. While Zavala went to third, Rodriguez with his 4th double, and now the pitching coach, Jeff Andrews, who was a longtime pitching coach for the Frisco RoughRiders, goes out to the mound to settle down a beleaguered Pinellas. Again, making his AA debut, and so far an inauspicious start for him. Now the first baseman, Abby Bellacortez, will step in. So Ozuna scoring his 23rd run of the season. By the way, that's second most in the Texas League. Jack Caglione of Northwest Arkansas has 24. So now the conference is over, and Jeff Andrews will go back to the dugout, and Pinellas hoping to settle down. It was just a drive down the left field line. Hoppin had no chance for that one. He ran as hard as he could, but Rodriguez placed the ball in a perfect spot. Now moving into third is Castellon. Runners at second and third. The pitch way outside for a ball, 1-0. Even though it's only the second game of the 6-game set, it's important for the Missions to win these ball games. They want to try to catapult over Frisco to get into first place. So Runners lead at second and third. One out top of the first, 1-0 Frisco in the pitch. Inside and low, and Pinellas continues to fall behind the hitters. He's behind on Abby Bellick Ortiz at 2-0. Abby Bellick hitting 204, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. Zavala on third, Rodriguez on second. Now the stretch to the 2-0 delivery. And this one's fouled off third base side, going beyond the stands. And the count to Ortiz is 2-1. Well, how about that? You had two men named Ortiz playing first. Devin for the Missions and Abby Bellick for the RoughRiders. Right side of the infield, back deep. Now the 1-second stop by the right-hander Pinellas. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on, foul back. No, it's swung on and missed. And the ball got away from Matthew, but fortunately he was able to hustle after it, and Zavala had a hold at third, and now the count even at 2-2. So it's important for Pinellas to try to get a strikeout right here. Pinellas goes 6'2", weighs 185. San Diego signed him as a free agent back in 2022. Spent time with Fort Wayne last year. Leads it again to Matthew for the sign. As the Runners lead at second and third, the infield in with only one out. Pinellas shaked off the sign. Steps on the first base side of the rubber. Eight seconds on the pitch clock. He better start hurrying. And now it looks like he and Matthew are having trouble with the signs, and he wants Matthew to go out to the mound. And like Bob said, this is his first start as a catcher, although he appeared as a pinch hitter once. And hopefully that they could get their communication and signals together, because you don't want to allow this Frisco team to take an early lead that big. And already Pinellas has walked two, and he has allowed a run on the RBI double by Rodriguez, and Frisco has a 1-0 lead. Now the clock had been restarted. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ortiz. Pinellas ready, and the pitch on the way. Fastball just missing outside. Full count, 3-2. Didn't miss by much. Walk here will load them up, and on deck, though, you have the dangerous Josh Hatcher, the Riders' right fielder. 2 walks in the inning. Zavala, who walked on third. Rodriguez with an RBI double, is on second. Now the payoff pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good fastball by Pinellas, his best pitch. That's the second strikeout. He needed that one. 2 men away, and now the infield will play back for Josh Hatcher, the right fielder. 295 hitter, 4 home runs, and 19 RBIs. Hatcher was in the number 3 slot. He had a tough night last night, 0 for 4, and struck out 3 times. Pinellas pitches left-hand batter in the dirt, and that gets away from Matthew. And bringing toward the plate is Zavala. He'll come in to score. Rodriguez down to third. Oh, man. A wild pitch charge to Pinellas. So Zavala's going to second run, and unfortunately it came with 2 men away. And now the Riders lead 2-0 here in the first inning. Breaking ball down and in. You have to realize, too, with Matthew, not only catching for the first time, but I believe he's also catching Pinellas for the first time, so he's not too familiar with him. Now the right-hander stretches with Rodriguez on third. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Swung on, and there's a ground ball hit to second, taken by Reyes on to first, in time to Ortiz. 4-3 put up, side retired. But the Riders take the early lead here in the first inning. 24-year-old left-hander Kohl Drake from Orem, Utah is on the mound for the Riders. He's 0-2 with a 3.31 ERA, making his 5th start, and he'll be facing the switch-hitting second baseman, Ripken Reyes, who is batting right-handed, leading off for the Missions. Takes the fastball outside, 1-0. Frisco getting to Pinellas for 2 runs in the top of the first and lead, 2-0. The left-hander kicks, and the pitch. Fastball is off the outside corner, 2-0. Reyes, switch hitter, batting .083. Now the slow windup and the 2-0 delivery, and it just misses outside, 3-0. And coming into the game in 16 of the third innings. Drake has allowed 9 hits, 6 runs all earned. He has walked 9 and has struck out 28. 11 and 12 lifetime in the minors. The 3-0 pitch outside, ball 4. And Reyes walks on 4 pitches. So, well, both Pinellas and Drake having some control problems. So Reyes trots down to first base. First walk allowed by Drake. Now the tying run is at the plate. Reyes, by the way, was 1 for 12 coming into this game. And now you have the shortstop Francisco Acuna stepping in. Previously, the Texas League Player of the Week last week when he hit 4 home runs in 4 straight games. He looks to strike in the outside corner, 0-1. The shortstop hitting .250, 5 home runs and 15 RBIs. Now the left-hander Drake comes set, checks runner at first to delivery. Fastball way outside, 1-1, and here's the defense for Frisco. Abby Bella-Cortez at first, Ranger Chavez at second, Cam Coley at short, Caber Rodriguez at third, Aaron Savella in left, Alejandro Zuniga in center, Josh Hatcher at right, Tucker Mitchell catching, and Kohl Drake on the mound. The 1-1 delivery, off-speed pitch in there for a call strike, and now Acuna's behind 1-2. Drake throws some four-seam fastball, a cutter, as well as a curveball and a changeup. Even though he was born in Orem, Utah, Drake grew up in Sac, Texas, 25 minutes from Riders Field. Left-hander stretches the 1-2 delivery, swinging a foul ball back and out of play, and the count will stay at 1-2 strikes. Junior went 1 for 2. With a run scored, he was hit by a pitch in last night's game, won by San Antonio 9-2. Infield at double play depth, now holding his set. The left-hander Drake, the 1-2 delivery, swung on, pulled foul, third base side. Good play by the third base coach, imagine Luke Bonds, the former catcher, and the count remains at 2 strikes. On deck, the designated hitter, Moises Gomez. Missions are 15-13, while Frisco is 17-11. Kohl Drake attended Wiley High School, and now the left-hander ready. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Slow bounce it to third, foul ball, and the count will hold at 1-2, and Acuna doing a good job hanging tough. His average had slipped from 188 to 247, but seems like he's showing signs of breaking out of it. By the way, the Wiley High School Pirates produced NFL players like Kyle Fuller, Chris Givens, Cameron Kelly, and Nikita Whitlock. Drake began his collegiate career at Arkansas Tech and then spent 2020 at San Joaquin Delta College in Stockton, California, where he still lives in the offseason. Left-hander stretches, checks Reyes off first. He led up with a walk, 1-2 delivery, fouled off and out of play. Boy, Acuna continues to hang tough and remains alive at 1-2. Drake ended his final 2 seasons at Walter State Community College in Tennessee, which also produced Texas left-hand pitcher Brett Martin. Now the next pitch, check swing, breaking ball just missing down low, 2-2. This year, Drake entered as the number 13 prospect in the Rangers organization, according to MLB.com. Now he gets the sign, checks the runner, Reyes off first, pitch on the way, slow curve, hit off the foot of Acuna, and it goes foul again. That's 6 straight times that he's fouled off the pitch, and the count is even still at 2-2. Missions hoping to get on the board here in the first after they spotted Frisco for 2 runs. In the top of the first, Emmanuel Pinellas walked a couple of batters, gave up an RBI double, and also allowed the second run to score when he uncorked a wild pitch. Chavez near the bag at second. The left-hander Drake ready again. 2-2 delivery. Low and inside. 3-2. Boy, Justin the plate umpire, certainly has a very tight strike zone, but Drake and Pinellas, although they've been falling behind hitters, they've been close on a few pitches.
Acuna making the pitcher work.
Absolutely. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reyes goes to the pitch, swung on, and this one's popped up, and it's on the left side. Coming in now is the third baseman, Caber Rodriguez, and he makes the grab just inside the third base line. 1 down, Reyes has to remain at first base, so Drake did a good job winning the battle there, and he certainly earned it after fouling off some pitches. Acuna pops to third, and with one away, it brings up the DH Moises Gomez. Gomez, the right-hand batter, hitting .281, 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. He had a good night last night. Gomez had 3 hits and a couple of RBIs. And the right-hand batter goes after the first pitch, and he fouls off at the plate. 0-1, and he won Sunday's game with a sac fly to left as the Mission scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, coming from behind to defeat the Corpus Christi Hooks 5-4 here at the Wolff to gain a split in the 6-game set. Drake hitting aside, the left-hander stretches, checks Reyes off first. The 0-1 pitch in there for Kohl Drake, the cutter, 0-2. Drake had tied a career high with 10 strikeouts in his third start against the Corpus Christi Hooks back on April 23rd. Now the left-hander standing on the third base side of the rubber stretches. The 2-strike pitch. Fly ball is hit into right field. Coming in is Hatcher. He sells under it. Makes the catch 2 down, and Reyes has to hold it first. So Gomez goes the opposite way and skies out to right. Now the third baseman, Marcus Castañon, will be the hitter. Castañon, the right-hand batter, hitting .310, 2 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. Castañon went 1 for 4 with an RBI single in the game last night. Now Drake getting a sign from Tucker Mitchell. And the pitch to the right-hand batter. Fastball is up high and the count 1-0. A year ago in 2024, Drake pitched for Downey, Hickory, and Frisco. And he had a combined record of 9-5. Now the pitch swung on. High fly ball hit to center field, and right there is Osuna, and he's got it side retired. Leadoff walk goes for naught here in the first, and for San Antonio, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. 2-0 Riders as we go to the top of the second. Bottom third of the batting order for Frisco against right-handed Manuel Pinellas. And the first pitch to Cam Coley. The shortstop is swung on and fouled back. First pitch swinging 0-1. Coley hitting .198. 1 home run and 9 runs batted in. He went 0 for 4 in the game last night. Rounded to short twice and struck out twice. And a fly ball hit to right field and deep. Here's going back toward the wall, and this one is gone. It just cleared the wall, a home run. It just cleared the wall, the lower one, and hit the top of the wall and bounced back on, a home run. The first base umpire, Jonathan Rector, signaled that it went over the right field wall, and Coley with his second home run. And just like that, the Riders with a 3-0 lead here in the second inning. Line drive home run over the wall in right field. His 10th RBI of the year. So Pinellas has given up an RBI double and a home run. And a 3-0 lead for Frisco. And no one out. The switch hitting second baseman, Franjo Chavez, will step in. Now there's an argument by Luke Bonstamacha. He thought it did not clear the wall, and he's having his beef right now with the first base umpire, Jonathan Rector. By the way, Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Mission's home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit TexasFarmBureau.org/sports to learn more. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the San Antonio Missions. Well, Luke Bont's not happy with the call. And it looks like lose the argument, and the Riders lead 3-0 with nobody out here in the second. So Pinellas giving up his first home run in Double-A ball. Franjo Chavez, switch hitter, batting left-handed, hitting .150 with 4 runs batted in. Into the motion, Pinellas, he delivers, and the fastball just missing outside, and the count to Chavez is 1-0. Chavez did not play in the ball game last night, won by the Missions 9-2. The outfield to left, now the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2, and the count 2-0. Chavez was at first base for the 2022 Texas League Championship clincher. Now the kick, the 2-0 delivery, outside and high, ball 3, and now Pinellas is behind on Chavez at 3-0, and on deck the catcher, Tucker Mitchell. So again, Pinellas just not having a good debut at Double-A ball. 3-0 pitch, breaking ball strike in the inside corner. Chavez took it all the way, 3-1. Playing second base for the Riders in this game today. Now the kick and the pitch on the way. Lifted foul to the third base side, heading toward the patio area, and the count is full at 3-2. So far, Pinellas has struck out 2. He has walked 2, and he has allowed 3 runs on 2 hits. Now the right-hander kicks, payoff pitch on the way, and it's swung on and missed. Foul tip back into the mid of Banthy, and Chavez is the strikeout victim. One away here in the top of the second. Strikeout number 3 for Emmanuel Pinellas, and now the catcher Tucker Mitchell will step in. Mitchell hitting .216 with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. He's a right-hand batter, making his first appearance of the series against the Missions. The infield deep and toward the left. Now the delivery. First ball swing. Ground ball hit to short. One-handed by Aquino. On to first to Ortiz. 2 men away. 6-3 if you're scoring. Now back to the top of the order for the center fielder Alejandro Osuna, who started the ball game with a walk. Eventually scored on the double inside the left field line by the third baseman Caber Rodriguez. 17-game hitting streak for Osuna. And with the run scored in the first inning was his 23rd run of the year. And takes the pitch low and outside, and the count is 1-0. Pinellas working a little bit quicker compared to the first inning. And the next pitch, there's a ground ball hit to second, taken by Reyes. On to first in time to Ortiz. Side retired. For the Riders in the second, 1 run, 1 hit, the home run by Kohl. Nowhere is there none left in the middle of the second for Wolff Stadium. For his second inning of work, he allowed a leadoff walk to Reyes before retiring the next 3 in the first inning. And here's the first baseman, Devin Ortiz, to lead things off. Ortiz had 3 hits in the game last night, one by the Missions 9-2. Ortiz batting right-handed, hitting .333, 2 home runs, and 14 runs driven in. Last night, the Missions recorded double-digit hits for the 9th time, making them 6-3 when knocking in at least 10 hits. Slow windup by Drake goes back to the plate. Swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count to Ortiz is 0-1. It'll be Devin Ortiz, left fielder Wyatt Hoffman, and the center fielder Kai Murphy due up for the Missions here in the bottom of the second inning. Missions 2 games back from Frisco entering today's play. Open stands for Ortiz, batting on the right-hand side. The windup by Drake, and he deals, and the curveball is outside and high, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Michigan's pitching staff overall has continued to do very well this year. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and the count 1-2. Kohl Drake going after his first win of the year. Time called, and Ortiz will step out. With Down East last year, he was 2-1. Kohl Drake 5-3 with Hickory, and 2-1 in 5 starts for Frisco. Ground ball hit up the middle, but near the bag at second. Chavez has it. On to first in time to Ortiz, and Devin Ortiz is out. 4-3 if you're scoring, and there's 1 out in the bottom of second. And here's the left fielder, Wyatt Hoffman, stepping in. Hoffman has mainly been in the infield at second base and third base. Hoffman, the left fielder, batting right-handed, hitting .159 with a double and 2 runs driven in. Missions trailing 3-0 the second. The delivery, check swing, and the pitch is up high for a ball, and the count is 1-0 on Hoffman. Drake taking his time. Now the left-hander winds and the 1-0. Fastball outside and high, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Drake was drafted the 11th round back in 2022 by the Texas Rangers. 2-0 delivery, change up in there for a call strike, 2-1. And 2 years ago, they beat Arizona to win the World Championship for the first time in franchise history after disappointing losses in 2010 and 2011 to San Francisco and St. Louis respectively, especially St. Louis. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2 twice. They were 1 strike away from winning the World Series in Game 6, but they were not able to put the Cardinals away, who eventually won Game 6 and then won Game 7 to win the World Series. Close but no cigar, but in 23 they finally won it all. This team used to be the second Washington Senators team, which moved from the nation's capital to the Dallas-Fort Worth area in 1972. Fastball high and away, 3-2. They had their ups and downs over the years. First, Jeff Burrows, one of their early stars, and Billy Martin, the manager. And an off-speed pitch on the outside corner for Kohl, strike 3. Hoffman caught linking 2 down. First strikeout for Kohl Drake. He's retired 5 straight missions down 3-0, 2 outs in the second. And now here's the number 7 hitter and center fielder Kai Murphy stepping in. Left-hand batter Murphy hitting .228 with 5 RBIs. Murphy had a double, an RBI, and a walk and 2 runs scored. He takes a breaking ball for a strike in the count 0-1. Frisco on top at 17-11. Time called and Murphy will step out. Murphy likes to go the opposite way as a left-hand batter, line drive type hitter. 1 strike delivery. Fastball missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. His father Pat, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. This guy's a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, sporting a Maple Leafs jersey. The 1-1 in there for a call strike. Came back with a cutter, 1-2. On deck, the right fielder, Josh Mears. Missions have won 3 in a row. Now the 1-2 delivery. Swinging a fly ball hit to center fielder deep, but drifting back Osuna. Near the warning track, he's got it. Side retired. So 1-2-3 inning for Drake, who has retired 6 in a row. We have completed 2 on this Wednesday morning at the Wolff. It is still Frisco 3, San Antonio 0. Back for the 3rd inning right after this. Pitch is in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Penales getting called up from Fort Wayne. And the 1-1 is a ground ball up the middle behind the bag at second. Reyes has it on to first, not in time. He went almost to the shortstop side of the bag to field the ball. Good effort, but Walcott legs it out for an infield hit, and the Riders have the leadoff man on for the 3rd straight inning. And that is hit number 3 off Emmanuel Penales. They have a 3-0 lead, and keep in mind Walcott can steal bags. He's been successful in 6 out of 7 stolen base attempts, and with nobody out, the left fielder Aaron Savella steps in. Savella walked and scored his first time up in the 1st inning. Holding it set, the right-handed Penales. Throw to first, close play, and diving back is Walcott. Looking to try something one of a kind. Feast your taste buds on new Dr. Pepper Blackberry. It's bold Dr. Pepper with sweet blackberry flavor. Stop by your local store to try Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar today. It's a pepper thing. Fastball is outside, and the count to Aaron Savella is a ball, no strikes. Came into the game hitting .169. Now the stretch. Shed to the left center is Murphy. Penales kicks and fires away. Runner goes to late steal, taking for ball. Throw to second to slide. And he is safe at second base. The ball was dropped by the shortstop Pecunia. Walcott on a delayed steal has his 7th theft of the year. So he's in scoring position at second with nobody out here in the 3rd. And the Riders trying to take advantage of every mistake that Penales has made as far as his control is concerned. Walcott on second. Savella took the pitch for a ball, and they count 2 balls and no strikes. Now the right-hander stretching. Penales checks Walcott off second. The pitch on the way. Check swing in there for a call strike, 2-1. Some of the Jets flying above from Lackland Airport space, which is beyond Highway 90. And time called, and Savella will step out.
The kids got to be enjoying that, this show with the Jets flying around.
Only thing that Penales doesn't want to see flying around are the Riders on the base pass too much. Runner at second, the 2-1 pitch. That's fouled away to the 3rd base side, 2-2. I remember one time I saw 6 consecutive mini Jets flying simultaneously. That got a little bit scary. And one time, even an airplane heading to Lackland was just right above Wolff Stadium. That was pretty close. That was years ago, though.
Well, you don't just get baseball here. You get the whole show.
Right. 2-2 the count. Walcott off second. Now the delivery. Off-speed pitch just missing outside. Didn't miss by much. Full count, 3-2.
So he goes to 3-2 once again. He's throwing a lot of pitches today.
And keep in mind, he had walked 2 men in the first inning, and both of them had scored. Walcott had an infield hit and stole second. He leads away there with nobody on the third. 3-0 Riders. And the changeup gets the inside corner for a call. Strike 3. Pulled the string. Savella knew it. 1 down for Emmanuel Pinellas. That is strikeout number 3. Walcott still on second with 1 down. It brings up the cleanup hitter and third baseman Kohl Rodriguez, who doubled inside the left field line. Did not get a run his first time up in the first inning. Now with 13 RBIs, Kohl Rodriguez.
That strikeout was real big. Probably kept him in the ball game. Nothing going in the bullpen yet.
Now the stretch and the delivery and a swing and a foul ball at the plate and the count 0-1.
I think Luke Montz wants to give him the best shot he can in his debut here with the Missions.
Yeah, he's trying to pull the string on Pinellas as long as he could. Try to give the bullpen some rest. They've been used quite a bit. No balls and 1 strike to Rodriguez. Walcott on second, 1 out in the third. Riders batting and leading 3-0. And Pinellas getting a sign. He is at the belt. And the 0-1 delivery. Check swing, and it just misses outside. 1-1. Rodriguez played in 135 games the last 2 years with Frisco and hit .236 over that stretch. He's been with this club for quite a few years already. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield straight away. Since the second inning, Pinellas working a little bit quicker. He took a lot of time on the mound the first inning. Right-hander with the 1-second stop. The 1-1 delivery. Check swing in there. Call strike. Fastball. 1-2. 94 miles an hour. Rodriguez won the True Ranger Award in both 20 and 21, highlighting a player who represents the core values of the Rangers on and off the field. So, sure he did a lot of community service in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Abby Ortiz, the first baseman on deck, the delivery. Swung on ground ball to third, and now they got the runner caught between third and second. A good play by Castagnone, who fired on to Ripken Reyes. So, Walcott caught dead to rights between second and third as Rodriguez reaches on the fielder's choice. Play on Walcott goes 5-4, 2 down. 1 hot smash. Walcott way off the bag at second, and he was a dead duck between second and third. Castagnone feeling the wicked hop.
What that does is take the lead runner off base, so he's not in scoring position anymore.
Right. And then an easy play to Reyes, and Walcott gets tagged out. Abby Ortiz, left-hand batter and first baseman, takes a fastball outside and high, 1-0. He struck out his first time up in the first inning. Left-hand batter. Ortiz still looking for his first hit of the series. He's gone 0 for 5 so far. Lead for Rodriguez off first, and he has 6 steals. Down the stretch, Pinellas delivers. Swing and a foul ball. And that is at the plate, and the count 1-1. Well, Pinellas trying to settle down after giving up 2 runs in the first inning and a run in the second. He gave up a home run to Cam Cauley that barely cleared the lower wall in right field. Now the right-hander stretching again, and here's the 1-1. Foul back to the backstop and out of play. Abby Ortiz behind on a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Three hits in the ball game, and the Rough Riders have them all. Now the 1-second stop once again by Emmanuel Pinellas. And the delivery, swinging a foul ball back and out of play. So the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. On deck, the right fielder, Josh Hatcher. Ortiz entered this year as the number 14 prospect in the Rangers system. He hit 183 in his first 67 games. The last 48 games a year ago, he batted .321. What a turnaround. 1-2 delivery. And a swing and a miss. And down goes Ortiz for the second time. Strike 3, struck him out. Side retired. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Pinellas. He has 5 in the game. Lost the third, and Josh Mears tried to check his swing, and he couldn't hold up. It's a strike in the count 0-1. Mears, the right-hand batter. And the Mission's right fielder hitting .175. 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. The windup, the 0-1 delivery. Swing, and there's a high pop fly, shallow right field. Coming in is the right fielder Hatcher. Both Chavez and Ortiz going out, but Hatcher with the easier play coming in. He's got it one down. And that is 7 in a row retired by Drake, as the Missions have yet to get a hit. And with one down, the catcher Jack Matthew will step in, an Ohio native. So far, he's 0 for 1 this season. Catching for the first time, Ethan Salas had been placed on the injured list not too long ago, and the off-speed pitch and a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. So far, Drake has struck out one. He's yet to walk a batter. He's walked one. He walked the leadoff man Reyes to the first, and since then he had retired 7 in a row. Couple of golf swings, kick, and the one-strike pitch. Roller hit toward short, but cut off by the third baseman Rodriguez. The throw, and he got him. Good throw by Caber Rodriguez. Matthew out on a 5-3 play, 2 men away in the third. 8 in a row set down by Kohl Drake. Missions trailing 3-0 back to the top of the order for the switch-hitting second baseman Ripken Reyes. Drew a walk his first time up, the only base runner for the Missions in this game thus far. Started the year at AAA El Paso. He was 3 for 10, but he was not getting enough at bats. Next to bag at third, Caber Rodriguez to the breaking ball, and a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. Reyes had stepped down, now steps back in, one of the more popular players here in San Antonio, and bounces one to short, coming in. One-handed the ball is calling on the run, throw to first, and out at first base is Reyes. Ortiz, whose stretch was left some way, somehow, kept his foot on the bag, crowd booing, but what a play by Abimelech Ortiz, saving an error. 6-3 if you're scoring, side retired. 3 up and 3 down, 9 in a row sent down by Kohl Drake. At the end of 3, it's still Frisco 3, San Antonio nothing. 4th inning coming up right after this. 3-0 Frisco. We go to the 4th inning, and that means Bob Swoboda on play-by-play.
Thank you, Stu. Here we go. As Stu said, top of the 4th inning. Mission down 3-0. The first delivery is outside for ball 1. Josh Hatcher at the plate. He's 4th in the league in RBIs. Right now, he's hitting .295 with 4 home runs and 19 ribbies. The next delivery, a swing and a miss, and it's strike 1, so the count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sun-kissed afternoon, but a cloud hanging over the sky right now. And the next pitch, that's hit hard down the line in right field. Will it stay fair? No, just barely fouled down into the corner. That was trouble. Would have been extra bases, but Hatcher will have to come back to the plate now with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. Here at Nelson Wolff Stadium in San Antonio, Texas, Texas League Baseball. The Frisco RoughRiders in town. They're in first place. Missions won last night 9-2 to cut their lead to just 2 games, but they're behind today 3-0. Getting around late is Hatcher, fouling it against the screen on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hatcher hails from Albany, Georgia. Hits from the left side. Plays right field. Pinale's pitch is way high and back to the screen. Missed everything. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good breeze blowing from left to right across the field. Usually it comes in over the right field wall, but today it's blowing out of the northeast. A little tapper to the right side, and that count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the hill in his debut with the Missions, Emmanuel Pinales. Started out great at Fort Wayne this year, just got called up. He's 3-0 down there. Right-handed hurler, brings it to the plate, and it is hit into the air pretty deep to center field. Kai Murphy drifting to his left. He's there now, and he hauls it down for out number 1. So long fly ball off the bat of Josh Hatcher. And Pinales gets the first man. That'll bring up Cam Cauley, the shortstop. Missions trail 3-0. They have their work cut out for them, but still early in the ball game. And Cauley steps in. He had a home run leading off the second. That pitch dips low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Luke Montz questioned whether it went over the wall, exactly what happened, but it was called a home run. And there's a swing and a miss for strike one. Count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Penales reaches down for a handful of dirt, tosses it down, looks in for the sign. Cawley steps out of the box. Back in. The 1-1 pitch is on the way. He's going to bunt, and it's a good one. The pitcher fields, throws, and not in time. The throw was into the dirt, scooped up by Ortiz, but not in time. That'll go as an infield single on the bunt. Perfect bunt. About 10 feet off to the left side of the plate. Penales came in, fielded it, threw to first base. A good throw would have got him, but it was down into the dirt, so it'll go as a base hit. That's the 4th hit for the RoughRiders in this ball game. It's been all Frisco so far this afternoon. They lead 3-0. Got a man on base with 1 out. Pitch low, just above the shoe tops. Ball 1 to the next batter, Frenier Chavez. He's the second baseman today. Didn't play yesterday. 1 ball, no strikes on him. Another left-handed batter. Ortiz holding the runner at first. He's going to bunt. Pulls it back. It'll be a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Kids Day. Early start, 11 o'clock. Education Day. These kids, a lot of fun, very excited to be here. That ball is trouble. Hit to deep right field. Mears will not get it. It is off the wall. He plays the carom, gets it back into the infield quickly. That'll go as a double as Chavez sends the other runner at first, Cawley around the third, and that's where they wind up, second and third with 1 out. And now we got some action in the bullpen, a right-hander.
Yeah, that's Carter Loeing loosening up in the bullpen, and unfortunately Penales just realizing what a taste of medicine he's getting. Big jump from A to AA, and already with the Missions trailing by 3, he's in deep trouble now. The infield in with nobody out with runners at second and third.
He was dominating everything at Fort Wayne. He was 3-0 with a 1.40 ERA, but getting hit around here in his debut with San Antonio in AA baseball. And here's Luke Montz.
Yeah, 1 out, I should say, and now he's going to go to the bullpen. So that's it for Penales, and this pitching change brought to you by Mac.Bid. We'll have Carter Loeing trying to put out the fire here. We'll have his numbers in a moment. We'll take a break in the action here in the 4th inning. Frisco threatening and leading 3-0. We'll be back in a moment. Carter Loeing coming in, the big Canadian, is going to be making his 9th appearance all of relief. No record in the 4.35 ERA. In 10 of the 3rd innings, he's allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He has walked 3 and has struck out 12, and this guy could certainly bring it. So not a good debut at the AA level for Emmanuel Penales, and so far Penales in 3 in the 3rd innings has allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 70 pitches, 43 for strikes, and keep in mind the runners at second and third with 1 out here in the 4th and still his responsibility.
So he comes in with men at second and third, as Stu told you. So he's here to try to put out the fire, keep this ball game close. Mission's already trailing 3-0. They can't afford to give up any more runs. So Loeing from the province of British Columbia near Vancouver, one of the most beautiful cities in North America. And he's on the hill now, and he'll be facing Tucker Mitchell, the catcher. 1 down. Loeing looks in for the sign. He's got the one he wants. Comes set at the belt, checks the runners, fires outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the right-handed hitting Tucker Mitchell. Mitchell did not play last night. Infield in for the play at the plate. The stretch and the pitch on the way. Ground ball to the second baseman. His only play is the first in time. So he played it safe, got the sure out. He looked to first, did the second baseman Reyes, but he decided he had no chance to get the runner coming down the line from third. So Cam Cawley scores, and it's a 4-0 ball game. They're 2 out now. That was the only play. Scored 4-3 if you're scoring along with us. Stepping to the plate now, the leadoff hitter, Alejandro Osuna. Osuna walked and scored the first run of the ball game. Bounced out to second, his only other time up. And he tried to call time. Was he successful? Pitch was in there for a strike. He was not. Tried to step out of the box, but the pitcher was already in his motion, so it's strike one. Here comes the next delivery, and that's strike two. Caught the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Osuna. Osuna having a good season. Second in the league in runs scored and in hits. He's hitting .318. Bouncing ball to second, that should do it. Taking the short hop is Reyes. Over to first in time, and that ends the inning. So Lowen did a nice job, but he couldn't help giving up the run that Penales put on base.
Hi there, this is Manu Ginobili reminding you that the San Antonio Missions play here on Country Legends KKYX 680 AM, 104.9 FM, and KKYX.com.
Thank you, Manu Ginobili, one of the great Spurs players. And that pitch is outside for ball one. The Missions have the second, third, and fourth place hitters in that order here in the fourth inning to try to get back into the ball game. Acuna popped out to the third baseman his first time at the plate. There's a called strike on the outside part of the plate, and the count goes even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The left-hander's delivery is swung on and missed, strike 2. So Acuna behind on the count now. On deck, Moises Gomez. Been all Frisco today. They got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and another run in the fourth inning. The run in the second inning was a home run by Cawley. Missions have not had a hit yet today. 5 for the RoughRiders. And Acuna takes it high, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Missions and the RoughRiders. Southern Division rivals. RoughRiders leading division right now. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Acuna. He had a weak swing on that one. 1 away, and stepping up now, the power hitting Moises Gomez. Gomez from Caracas, Venezuela. Right-handed hitter. Got good powers, you know. That pitch dips low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 years ago, he hit 30 home runs for Memphis in AAA ball. And the previous year, with 2 teams, Springfield and Memphis, he had a total of 39 home runs. So he's got power. Hasn't shown a lot of it yet so far this season. There's ball 2 outside, 2-0. Even so, he is the 10th place man in the slugging percentage in the Texas League. Tries to go the opposite way and fouls it back to the net. Count now 2-1. He's in a DH role today, normally playing left field. Wyatt Hoffman out there this afternoon. Here's the left-hander's pitch, and it's just off the plate. And the count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Gomez trying to get on there, trying to spark something. Missions need something, need base runners right now. They trail 4-0. And he goes after that pitch, lofts a foul ball up to the right side, back up into the seats. Souvenir for somebody. So the count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gomez is ready. Here comes the pitch to him. And once again, he stays alive by popping it up to the right side, and the breeze will blow it out of play. Still 3-2. Lopez hits out of a slightly open stance. Here's the pitch. Swings right through it and misses. Strike 3. 2 straight strikeouts, and they're 2 gone. That'll bring up the third baseman, Marcos Castellon. Castellon wears number 6. Marcos hitting .310, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Goes after that pitch and lofts a pop-up down the right side. It could be playable. First baseman out there, right fielder there, and neither one can get it. Yes, one did, the first baseman, I believe, a backhanded play. Yeah, the umpire raised his right arm saying he did make the catch. A very nice play by the first baseman, Ortiz, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 inning, nothing across. 4-0 Frisco. Throw down to second base around the Mission's infield. And we're ready for San Antonio baseball here in the 5th inning. For the RoughRiders, it'll be their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their order. The big lumber coming up. Here's Sebastian Walcott, the DH. Right-handed hitter, feet close together, stands deep in the batter's box. The pitch on the way, and he got around late and fouled it back to the screen. It's strike one. Carter Lowen on the hill in relief. The newcomer, Pascal, started. Did not fare too well this afternoon, giving up 4 runs. There's ball one. Count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. The delivery, down low, ball 2, 2-1. Walcott, the DH today. Played shortstop yesterday. Just above the shoe tops again. Ball 3, 3-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Along with Stu Paul, this is Bob Swoboda. And our producer, Colton Martinez. And of course, Brian Jensensen. Fouled back. 3-2. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Not the score maybe, but it is a beautiful day for baseball at the San Antonio Mission Ballpark. A lot of kids on hand. Education Day. They'd love to see some hits here by the Mission. Let's see if they can start banging some out in their next at-bat. Right now, they got to get out of this inning. It's a called strike 3 to Walcott. That's a good start. 1 down.
For Sam Whiting, who joined the team late last year and was rehabbing, making his debut this season for the Mission. So Lowen coming in, doing the job, 2/3 innings. So all zeros. Now pitcher number 3 for San Antonio in this game.
Okay, so it is Whiting. I thought Lowen had lost some weight out there, but wasn't sure. It's down and low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Now, this guy Whiting's still fairly big nonetheless, from Sacramento, where the Athletics are now temporarily playing.
Yeah, but Lowen's a bruiser at 6'4" and 240. Outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to the batter, Aaron Zavala. He's got a good eye. He leads he's second in the Texas League in walks. And he's got a 2-0 count on him right now. He goes after that pitch, and he laces it into center field, a base hit. So Zavala, not waiting around, drills it into center field, and there's a man on base with only 1 gone. And Whiting will be facing the Frisco third baseman, Caber Rodriguez. Rodriguez doubled in the first inning, driving in a run. Hit into a fielder's choice his other time up. 1 for 2. Rodriguez, slightly open stance. Waits for the pitch, and it is a called strike as Whiting paints the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Second game of a 6-game series. Missions won the opener last night. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. Back to normal starting times tomorrow evening, 7:05. Hope you can get on out. If you can't, join us here on KKYX Radio. And the series continues through Sunday afternoon. The pitch, way outside, snap throw to first, runners back safely. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 5th inning. Mission's trailing 4-0. It's up to Sam Whiting here in relief now to keep them close. Like to strike this guy out. Rodriguez, a dangerous hitter. As I said, doubled his first time up tonight, and he just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Foul, tipping that pitch back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matthey, the young catcher, could not hold on to it. So Rodriguez steps back in. Runner edges off first base. Devin Ortiz holding him on. Here comes the pitch. Too low. Just miss. And the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Frisco 4, San Antonio nothing. The third Mission pitcher. Pinelli started the game. Gave up the 4 runs. Carter Lowen came in to put out fire last inning, and now it's Sam Whiting. Hit into the air. 2 Missions chasing it, but they will watch it go into the seats. Two and two on this Wednesday afternoon. Morning start, 11 o'clock. Chance for the youngsters to get a field trip here to the ballpark. Young friend of mine, Trevor Gaffney, is in the crowd somewhere. Throw to first, and once again the runner back, this time diving. 2 and 2, the count remains. 1 out, 1 on, 4-0 Frisco. Missions come into the game 2 games out of first place. We're hoping to pick up some more ground today, but right now things aren't looking real good. There's a high fly to deep right field, going back at Kazmierz. Can he get it? He cannot. He banged against the wall. The ball is dropped. He's throwing to the plate. Here's the play at the plate. Could be close, and the runner is safe. Nice slide by Zavala, sliding around the tag. Good relay by Reyes. That was a high fly ball. The wind blew it, and it made it difficult for the right fielder, Mears. He went back to the wall, had it for a moment, but he banged into the wall. The ball fell. He threw it into Reyes, who whirled around through to the plate, but not in time.
Yeah, good effort by Reyes, but Zavala was able to barely beat the throw, and it's always tough when you're backpedaling, especially when you're not sure if the wall's immediately behind you.
There's a fly base hit to right field, so another hit, and the circus continues as Ortiz didn't wait around, jumped on the first pitch and lined a single, and that scores Rodriguez, who went to third on that play a moment ago. So another 2 runs in the inning, and it's a 6-0 ball game.
Well, Whiting started off the inning on a positive note with that strikeout, but yeah, the Riders, they are out hitting today after being held to just 5 hits in the Mission's 9-2 win last night.
And here's another dangerous hitter, Josh Hatcher. The RoughRiders are 3rd in the league in hitting overall. Up and in, and that ball whistled under his chin and missed. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Count is even. 2 runs are in. Mission's trailing 6-0. They've got their work cut out for them. Runner edges off first base. There's a pitch right down the pipe for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the 5th inning. Frisco with runs. 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, another 1 in the 4th, and now 2 more here in the 5th inning. Here comes the 1-2 off the plate, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Missions and RoughRiders in the second game of a 6-game set. 7:05 tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and then on Sunday, 1:05 start, I believe, on Mother's Day. Down low for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You are correct on that, and then an off day Monday, actually a travel day, and then the Missions had to Midland for 6th, and as I said, next Tuesday they have an 11:05 game.
And he got around late and punched it foul left side. Count stays 3-2. Runner at first is Ortiz, who just singled in a run. It's been the RoughRiders' day today so far. We're still fairly early in the ball game, in the middle innings, so there is time. But the pitchers for the San Antonio Missions need to shut them down from here on out. Little tap to the pitcher. He's going to flip to the first baseman for out number 2. So Hatcher is out, 2 gone. And the runner at first, Ortiz, scoots down to second base. From the pitcher to the first baseman. 1-3 if you're scoring, and that'll bring up the number 7 hitter in the RoughRiders order, Cam Cauley. Cauley, the shortstop. He's had a big day, a home run and an infield single. And he scored twice. 2 high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Chavez on deck. A 2-run inning. 6-0 in favor of Frisco. Our neighbor to the north, just outside Dallas. That stays upstairs again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'll never forget the first time I went up there 22 years ago. Was nothing compared to now, and it's just grown like weeds. Malls, apartment complexes, especially around the ballpark, unbelievable. A major upscale area in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Hit in the air, and looks like Mears has the beat on it, circling under it. He pulls it down for out number 3, and that ends the inning. But another good one for the Frisco RoughRiders. They pick up 2. All right, here we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Missions need not only some runs, they need some hits. Need to get men on base. It'll be Devin Ortiz to lead things off. And he takes it outside, ball 1. Young infielder playing first base today. Normally he's at third, from Nutley, New Jersey. Stands 6'2". Lays off that pitch, but it's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. The count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Noticing 8 hits and all of them belonging to Frisco. I mean, this guy, Drake, has been near perfect.
Breaking pitch in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He continues to look good. He's had the Missions number so far today, but we're in the 5th inning. Let's see if Ortiz can ignite something here. The stretch and the lefty's pitch. Too high for ball 2, and the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on. Missions trail 6-0. Ortiz waits, and he swings right through it. Strike 3. So this hurler for the Frisco RoughRiders sure has the Missions number this afternoon.
That's Drake's 4th strikeout, and after that leadoff walk to Reyes in the 1st inning, he has proceeded to retire. 13 straight hitters.
Well, these youngsters in the ballpark today, they need to see some hits, some action. Can Hoffman start it? He swings right through it, strike 1. Drake has been a monster on the hill so far today. Time called. Hoffman steps out of there. The pitch. Too high, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The next pitch, swings and fouls it back. Count goes to 1-2. Hoffman, the son of Trevor Hoffman, the great reliever for the Padres. One of the best. Swings and misses, and he's out of there. So the mastery of Mr. Drake, Kohl Drake, continues. He strikes out 2 here, the first 2 in this inning, giving him 5 for the afternoon.
And he has fanned 4 of the last 5 batters, Bob.
Yeah, and the Missions can't touch him. Here's Kai Murphy. Maybe he can get it started. Kai flied to deep center's only time up. And he watches that pitch sail low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. We're in the 5th inning. Frisco 5, San Antonio nothing. Make it 6-0. Trying to help him out. Not doing any good. A swing and a miss. Strike one. Mears is on deck if Murphy can keep it going. This Kohl Drake has looked as sharp as any pitcher we've seen all year. In fact, he's got a no-hitter going right now. Murphy steps out, climbs back into the box, waggles that bat, waits for the 1-1. Bouncing ball past the pitcher, charging in as the third baseman. Nice play, throws to first in time. Major league play there by the third baseman, Caber Rodriguez, cutting in front of the shortstop, scooping and throwing to first in time to get Murphy. That ends the inning. All right, back at the old ballpark, top of the 6th inning. Missions find themselves in the hole, 6-0. Got to hold them. Sam Whiting still on the hill in relief. Frenier Chavez will lead it off, the second baseman for the RoughRiders. It's from the left side. Waits for the pitch. And it's a breaking pitch in there for strike one. A good-looking slider. Sam Whiting just joined the ball club. He's from Sacramento, California. The right-hander winds and fires, and it's fouled back to the screen. Whiting, 6'3", 220, 24 years old. Briefly with the Missions last year, spent most of the season with Lake Elsinore in the California League. Too high for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He told me he's gone to his Sheriff River Cat Kings, AAA affiliate of the Giants. Of course, they're sharing the ballpark there with the Athletics, and just a great place to be, Sacramento.
Well, our good friend Chris Carey doing television for that ball club.
Yes, he is.
The Athletics. And there is strike 3 called, 1 down.
Another colleague, longtime Sacramento broadcaster, Johnny Dasco, is also with the Athletics too. So good to see those guys up there. And of course, the ballpark actually is in West Sacramento, across that yellow bridge. And I used to walk over to Sacramento after every game, every single night, to get back to the hotel.
Now the pitch. That ball popped up. Is it playable? The catcher over, the first baseman over. Ortiz looks at it, but it's a couple rows back into the seats. Strike 1. Tucker Mitchell is the batter.
For Sacramento, the capital of California, I felt like almost being in D.C. because of, you saw the Capitol and a lot of the streets named after alphabets like N Street or P Street, just like in D.C., which I've been to quite a few times myself.
Well, I've been to Frisco, but not Sacramento. Too high for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's funny to look at the standings. All the teams in the major leagues now are cities, not Seattle, Los Angeles, but then they have just the Athletics. Because right now they don't have a real home, playing temporarily in Sacramento.
It's hard to believe that franchise started in Philadelphia, then went to Kansas City, then was in Oakland from 1968 through last year. Decided that the Coliseum was no more, and like you said, 3 years they expect to play in Sacramento and hope to move Vegas later on.
There's a bouncing ball out to the shortstop, scooped up by Acuna, across the diamond in time to get Tucker Mitchell, and there are 2 down.
Kind of sad for Oakland. Across the water from San Francisco, they've lost the Raiders, they've lost the Athletics, and the Golden State Warriors, who played in the indoor Oakland Coliseum next to the outdoor Oakland Coliseum, they moved to San Francisco to play at the Chase Center. But keep in mind, before they were the Golden State Warriors, they were the Philadelphia and the San Francisco Warriors.
Well, the teams making their way out west, but Oakland not able to hold the teams. Ball 1 to the next batter. The number 1 hitter in the order, Alejandro Osuna. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Yeah, Philadelphia, they were a great team with the A's. Connie Mack was a longtime manager, 49 years with the Philadelphia Athletics. He was also the owner. A lot of great players like Lefty Gomez, Al Simmons. Down low, ball 2, 2-1.
Yeah, Lefty Grove, I think, too. I think Lefty Gomez played his entire career with the Yankees.
You're right. Lefty Grove, Lefty
Howard
Gomez. Those lefties, they always confuse me. Being one myself.
So am I.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2. So we got 2 lefties up here on the broadcast for you folks.
Mayor of Oakland very angry because she had a blueprint and everything for a new Harbor Side ballpark, but to no avail.
The stretch, and here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's hit hard to the third baseman. He gets the short hop, and the throw by Castellon is to first base in time, and the first time today that the Missions have retired the Frisco RoughRiders in order. Okay, we head into the bottom of 6, needing runs. Missions trail 6-0. We're here into the bottom of the 6th. A little pop-up to the shortstop. He goes back onto the edge of the grass and makes the play as Mears pops out. 1 down. Didn't take long for this young man, Kohl, to get an out. He has had quite an afternoon. Kohl Drake. 6'5", 220, 24 years old. He's a Texan. And the Rangers, the parent club, very high on this young man. The southpaw delivers outside, ball 1. The batter is Jack Matthey, the young catcher, just joining the team. 1 away on the pop to short. Matthey takes it outside for ball 2. 3 make it, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes, trying to get on. Missions have not had a base runner since Reyes walked starting the ball game for San Antonio. There's ball 4. Hayes got a man on. Let's see what happens. Never know in this game. And the top of the order will be coming up. Ripken Reyes, who joined the team from El Paso recently, has had only 1 hit since rejoining the club. A favorite here in San Antonio. Great young man, does a lot of community service, and he's working on his doctorate at San Diego State University. Letter high fastball in there for strike 1, 0-1. Acuna on deck. 1 man on, 1 out. 6-0. Frisco leading the Missions. Here's the delivery. He's going to bunt, pulls it back, throw to first base. Not in time. The pitch was a ball. Reyes thinking about bunting for a hit. Pulled the bat back at the last moment. It was outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a slider in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hello to his wonderful mom, Heidi, out in California. Pretty sure you're listening. A big hello to you. Here it comes. 2 high, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ripken Reyes is due. Missions have had only 2 base runners today, and they've both been on walks. One of those is on first base right now with 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 2 high, and the count will move to 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looks like he's getting a little bit tired right now, but you could bet he'll stay in there as long as he can, especially when he has something special going.
Now the delivery, and Reyes goes after it, and lost a fly ball into center. Should be easy. Center fielder coming on, and he reaches up, makes the catch.
Yeah, in recent years you're seeing combined no-hitters, but I'll tell you one thing, I've always, like you, been the type of guy, if somebody has special going, you want him to be in there as long as possible and try to achieve that feat. Of course, the Missions have other ideas, but so far to no avail.
So here's Francisco Acuna. They do have a man up in the bullpen just in case. Showing for the first time a few signs of fatigue as this pitcher on the mound for Frisco. Hot afternoon, relatively. Beautiful day, but an afternoon baseball, a lot of these guys aren't used to pitching in the afternoon. That fastball stays high, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first has a big lead. Breaking pitch in there for strike 1 to even up the count.
He's had a good curveball today, and he's placed it perfectly, especially on the outer part of the plate against the righties.
He mixes up his pitches, and he's done it very well. Ground ball, little squibber off to the right side. Foul ball fielded by the Missions coach, Del Castillo. And he tosses it into the stands to one of the young fans. And there is a happy young man raising that ball high to his buddies. Always a thrill getting a baseball at the ballpark. 2 gone. And Acuna swings and misses. Strike 3, nothing doing for the Missions in the 6th inning. They're still scoreless, still hitless. And after 6 full innings of play, it's the Frisco RoughRiders 6, the San Antonio Missions. Here comes Puffy. So Puffy the Taco bites the dust once again. Here's the voice of the Missions taking you the rest of the way, Stu Paul.
Thank you very much there, Bob. And Sebastian Walcott looks at the pitch outside from Sam Whiting, 1-0. And he has struck out twice, sandwiched in between. He had an infield hit and stole a base. And Whiting's next pitch is inside and low, and the count 2-0. Emmanuel Pinellas made his AA debut today, and not a very good one. 3 in the 3rd innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Carter Lowen went 2/3 innings, nothing but zeros, and there's a drive in the left field. And right there is the left fielder Wyatt Hoffman. And Hoffman makes the catch for the out. 1 down. That ball was tagged on the line, but Hoffman had it lined up all the way. So that is 6 rows set down by San Antonio pitching. Sam Whiting came on to relieve in the 5th inning and gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits after giving up back-to-back RBI hits to Rodriguez and Abimelec Ortiz. He has settled down and retired the last 6 men. And time called, and the current batter, Aaron Savella, will step out. More Jets flying overhead here at Wolff Stadium, and a lot of the youngsters still here enjoying Educational Day at the Wolff. Rare 11:05 start. Now the right-hander Whiting has the side. Here's the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss on a high fastball, and the count 0-1. Savella has walked and scored. He took a called 3rd strike in the 3rd, and singled and scored in the 5th inning. 6-0 Frisco. And the top of the 7th. Now the 1-strike delivery. Changeup just missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whiting was on a rehab assignment, and he had been with the Missions late last year. Had his share of struggles. Now the kick, the 1-1 delivery. Fastball inside and high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Savella came into the game hitting .169. And he has walked 3 times thus far in the series. He's also had a couple of hits. And the next pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Whiting blew it by him, 2-2. Savella with a single and a double in the series, and has scored 3 times. The infield toward the right with 1 out. Now the 2-2 delivery. Swung on. There's a drive into shallow right center field. And coming on to make the catch on the run is Murphy for the out. Ball still had enough hang time, and Murphy waited a second, then put the jet streams on and made a fine running catch for out number 2 here in the 7th. That will bring up the 3rd baseman, Caber Rodriguez. He's had a very good day thus far. 2 extra base hits and 2 ribbies. He doubled to left to knock in a run in the 1st. He reached on the fielder's choice in the 3rd and tripled in a run and scored in the 5th inning. 8 hits, all belonging to Frisco. The delivery, and this one is popped up behind the plate. Bathy looks without taking the mask off, and it goes out of play, 0-1. Hopefully these youngsters are still having a good time, even though the Missions are trailing this one 6-0. They won the opener last night 9-2 as Braden Nett won his first game of the year for San Antonio. Now Wanting has his hands together. He looks for the side. He rocks and deals. And the pitch on the way. Fly ball toward the right field line. Mears giving it a chase, and Mears cannot get it. Lands out of play in a 2-strike count. Series will resume tomorrow night at 7:05. The Missions will be the Flying Chocolates. It'll be a Taco Bell Value night here at the ballpark. The infield spread out with 2 men away. 2 strikes is the count on Keibert Rodriguez. Abby Bellick-Ortiz is on deck, and time called, and Wanting steps off, and Rodriguez stepped out. Now he steps back in. .342 hitter coming into the game. Rodriguez with 4 hits in the series, 3 of them for extra bases. 2-strike offering. Ground ball hit to short. Taken by Acuna. The throw to first in time to Devin Ortiz. 6-3 put outside, retired. Whiting pitching very nicely at the roster in the 5th inning, and he is now retired 8 straight. 7th stretch time on this Wednesday afternoon here at Wolff Stadium. It remains the Frisco RoughRiders 6 and the San Antonio Missions nothing. Missions baseball on Country Legends KKYX. Batting in the bottom of the 7th to start it off for San Antonio. Trailing Frisco 6-0 here at the Wolff. Game 2 of the 6-game set, and a slider is swinging a miss. 1-1. Gomez has flied to right and has struck out, 0-2. Lobus, 6'2", 180-pounder, 24 years of age, from Woodstock, Georgia. Signed by Texas as a non-drafted free agent back in 23. What a magnificent performance by lefty Kohl Drake, who's out of the ball game. And time is called, and Drake, 6 scoreless innings. No hits allowed, walked 2, struck out 6, only 2 men reached, both on walks. One by Ripken Reyes leading off the first, and a 1-out walk to Jack Matthew in the previous inning, the 6th inning. And right now, the catcher, Tucker Mitchell, going to the dugout. Got a drink of water, but I didn't know if maybe something was bothering him, but he appears to be okay now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gomez. Moises Gomez had a very good night last night with an RBI single in the 3rd and an RBI double in the 6th inning. And the Missions 9-2 win. And the next pitch, and that is off the outside corner, 2-1. So Drake, the pitcher of record, on the winning side of a 6-0 score, and something special still going on. 8 hits, all of them by the Riders, the 2-1, and it just misses outside to Gomez, 3-1. Missions certainly need base runners no matter what. Trailing by 6 here in the 7th. They lost today. They'll be 3 games back again of Frisco in the South. 3-1 delivery and a swing and a foul ball at the plate. Almost got a piece of Mitchell again, and the count is full at 3-2 on Gomez, the DH, who came into the game hitting .281. On deck, the 3rd baseman, Marco Castagnone. At that leadoff walk to Reyes, Drake had retired. The next 15 that walked Matthew with 1 out, but then got Reyes to fly to center and then struck out Acuna. Holding his set, the righty Lobus, and the 3-2. Just outside ball 4, and the Missions had the 3rd base runner all on walks, so the leadoff bid on. Lobus with his first walk. Spells it L-O-B-U-S, and it's pronounced Lobus. He pitched for Frisco last year. So now with nobody out, here's the 3rd baseman, Marcus Castagnone. He has flied to center and found out to the 1st baseman, Abby Bellick-Ortiz. 0-2 today, right-hand batter. Castagnone, 1 for 8 in the series, and hits a high pop fly into left center field. Now coming in on the run, the left fielder Zavala, the wind kept pushing it in, and Zavala makes the grab, 1 down, and Gomez has to hold it first. So now Castagnone is 0 for 3, and with 1 away, it brings up the 1st baseman, Devin Ortiz. He's bounced to second and has been struck out, 0 for 2. Frisco 8-5 on the road this year. They've averaged 5.4 runs per game on the road compared to 4.2 runs at Riders Field. And the pitch and a strike in the outside corner. And the count 0-1. So Lobus on the relief of the starter, Kohl Drake, who did not allow a hit, and he was outstanding. Right-hander delivers, and the slider is outside and low, and the count 1-1. Nice stop by the catcher, Tucker Mitchell. Lobus made a spot start for the Riders on April 22nd, throwing 2 scoreless innings against the Corpus Christi Hooks. Pitched in 4 games for Frisco last year and 2 in the postseason. Swing and a miss on a slider. 1-2. Wide hop in the left fielder on deck. Bishops trailing 6-0. Batting in the bottom of the 7th. And the 1-2, check swing, the appeal. First base umpire Jonathan Rector said no swing, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lobus signed as a non-drafted free agent out of Mercer University 2 years ago. Pitched with Riders pitcher Jackson Kelly at Mercer. Right-hander standing on the third base side, rubber stretches, and the 2-2. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Ortiz. Strike 3, struck him out, 2 men away. First strikeout for Ryan Lobus, and the 7th for Riders pitching in the ball game. Runner at first, still 2 down, and here's the left fielder Wyatt Hoppin, who's taking a called third strike in the 2nd and struck out swinging in the 5th inning. Lobus' brother Taylor played at Mercer before him, and now the delivery. Strike call on the outside corner, 0-1. Prior to Mercer, Lobus also pitched at Chattanooga State Community College in Tennessee. Right-hander with the 0-1. Ground ball is hit to second base. Taken now by Frenier Chavez on the first in time to Albie Bellic-Ortiz. Hopkins retired and saw the missions here in the 7th inning. Leadoff walk goes for naught. For San Antonio, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, 1 left. At the end of 7, here at Wolff Stadium, it's still the Frisco RoughRiders 6 to San Antonio Missions nothing. Back with more baseball after this. Antonio pitching, and the 3rd off Whiting, and with nobody out, the right fielder Josh Hatcher is at the plate, 0 for 3. Bounce back to the pitch last time up, swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Hatcher, again, one of the top hitters, has had a tough series as he has gone 0 for 7. Struck out 3 times in the game last night, but still very dangerous at the plate. Stretched by Whiting, and the 0-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled off the mid of the catcher Matthew, and a 2-strike count on the Riders right fielder. Hatcher has seen his average drop to .295. Emmanuel Pinellas, who just got called up to the Missions, made his AA debut today and went 3 in the 3rd innings, gave up 4 runs, all earned on 5 hits, walked 2, and struck out 5. Carter low in 2/3 of innings, all zeros, and now the Missions getting a right-hander throwing in their bullpen as Whiting stretches. 2-strike delivery and a swing and a miss on a high fastball. And Hatcher strikes out for the 4th time in the series. 1 out here in the 8th inning, and for Sam Whiting, that is his 3rd strikeout. And now the shortstop Cam Coley steps in. He homered over the lower wall and right for his 2nd home run of the year to give Frisco a 3-0 lead. He also had a bunt single and scored in the 4th and got to right. 2 for 3, and he looks to strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Coley with 2 hits and 7 times up in this series, waggling the bat. And now the right-hander Whiting getting a sign. He makes the 1-second stop. Runner at first, 1 out. The pitch swung on and fouled off, and the count 0-2. By the way, Kohl Drake, the 8th pitcher of the Riders, recorded era since 2005 to pitch 6+ no-hit innings, and the first since Kohl win on May 27th, 2021. No balls and 2 strikes on Coley. Frenier Chavez on deck. Missions trailing 6-0 here in the top of the 8th inning, and time called. And Coley will step out. Righty against righty, the outfield straight away and deep, down the stretch, and here's the 0-2 pitch, and it swung on, and that one is fouled off, and the count holding at 0-2. Well, Bradley Rodriguez, the hard-throwing right-hander, is now loosening up in the San Antonio Missions bullpen. Missions need to figure out a way to try to get this Rider pitching today, just like they did last night. 2-strike pitch, slow bounce it down to third, tough play. Coming in Castagnone, bare hands throw, not in time. Kohl legs out for an infield hit, and that's his third hit of the ball game. Good effort, though, by Castagnone. Barehanded the ball, but just simply could not get Kohl, as Ortiz will go down to second. So now the Riders have something going with runners at first and second. One out here in the eighth, already leading 6-0. And here comes Luke Ponce, the manager, and the sign's going to go to the bullpen, and he'll bring on Bradley Rodriguez. That's going to be all for Whiting. Really pitched well for a couple of innings. And this pitching change brought to you by MAC.bid. So Rodriguez comes in. We'll take a break here in the eighth with 2 on and 1 out for Frisco as they lead the Mission 6-0. Back here at the Wolff in just a moment. One of the hardest throwers coming on now for the Missions here in the eighth inning, Bradley Rodriguez out of Venezuela. And this guy can really bring it up there in the high 90s. And even his changeup is in the high 80s, if you can believe that. So he's coming on to do the pitching for the San Antonio Missions here in the eighth inning. And for Rodriguez, making his 10th appearance, 1-0 with a 4.05 ERA. He's had 3 saves in 13 and a third innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. He has walked 5 and has struck out 20. Joined the Missions late last year. Right-hander getting a sign from Jack Matthew, now holding a set the right-hander, and the 1-0 delivery, swinging a foul ball back and down to play, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. Rodriguez, pitcher number 4, used by Missions manager Luke Ponce in this ball game this afternoon. Rodriguez had that one bad outing at Amarillo on April 22nd when he went 2/3 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 2 hits. That's why his ERA is above 4. Other than that, he's pitched well. Strike call on the outside corner, and the count 1-2. Last outing against the Hooks on May the 4th, he went 1 1/3 innings and nothing but zeros across. He had 4 strikeouts in the game against Amarillo on April 26th. 4 days after the debacle he had against him on April 22nd at Hodgetown Stadium. Ortiz on second, Kohl on first with 1 out, 1-2 the count to Chavez. Off the line at third is Castagnone. 6 seconds rather on the pitch clock, so Rodriguez better hurry. Now the 1-2, tap foul to the right side, and it goes out of play. Count holding at a ball and 2 strikes. Chavez came into the game hitting .150. On deck the catcher, Tucker Mitchell. Tomorrow at 7:05, it'll be Victor Lizarco, 0-4 for the Missions against right-hander Josh Steffen, 2-1 for Frisco. 1-2, the count, the pitch. Fastball high and away. 2-2. And we'll definitely have the Taco Bell value night, as the Missions will be their alter egos, the Flying Chocolates, tomorrow night here at the Wolff. Good seats still available. Go online to samissions.com to order your tickets. The kick, the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball low and outside, and now Rodriguez has gone behind on Chavez, 3-2. A walk will load him up for Tucker Mitchell. He's had an RBI in this game, although it was from a ground out. Now the right-hander stretches, and the 3-2. Swung on, high fly ball. Hit to the left field, moving to his left, the left field to Hoffman. He's there, and Hoffman makes the catch. 2 men out, and the runners have to hold at first and second. Now the catcher and number 9 hitter Tucker Mitchell will bat for the 4th time in this game, a right-hand batter. Bounced to short in the second, grounded out to second to drive in a run in the 4th, and grounded to short again in the 6th inning. Missions trailing this one 6-0. 10 hits to the ball game, all by the Riders. Straying toward the bag at second is Ripken Reyes. Now the stretch by Rodriguez. He deals. Fastball swing and a miss, and a count 0-1. 97 miles an hour. Discounted Food items and tickets for tomorrow for Taco Bell Value Night. 7 o'clock game. 7:05 actually, but the gates will open at 6. You can also go to the Wolff Stadium box office along the first base side. Now holding a set, Rodriguez, the 1-strike delivery, breaking ball outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mitchell. Back to the top of the order, the center fielder Alejandro Zunas on deck. Only twice the Riders have been retired, 1, 2, 3, and that was in the 6th and 7th inning by Sam Whiting. Retired some here in the 8th, a 1-1 pitch. Kohl Drake in the outside corner, 1 and 2. So Rodriguez hoping for either a strike or an out. Same thing if he gets a strike for a strikeout to try to hold Frisco off the boards here in the 8th. Missions can ill afford to give up any more runs, trailing 6-0. Now the right-hander ready again. Rodriguez with the 1-2 and a check swing. The appeal, yes, he went around. First base umpire Jonathan Rector said he went around. Strike 3, nice slider by Brackley Rodriguez, who picks up his first strikeout. Riders run, but don't score here in the 8th. And the Missions trailing 6-0. Stu Paul along with Bob Swoboda, along with Colton Martinez and Brian Yenselson. We're delighted to have you aboard on this Wednesday afternoon on this Kids Education Day. A lot of the kids still here, even though they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about, although something special. The hit I'm going to present, 10 hits, all belonging to the Riders. Bottom third of the Missions batting order is Murphy bats for the 3rd time. He is skied to center and round to the 3rd, nothing for 2. Ryan Lobus came on to relieve in the 7th, is on the mound again. Right-hander throws to the slider and a strike in the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Murphy, a .228 hitter coming into the game, and no ask for time. The right fielder Josh Pierce on deck, and the catcher Jack Matthew will follow for the Missions in the bottom of the 8th inning. The infield deep toward the right, the 1-strike pitch. Slow bouncer foul, trickling along the first base side, and a 2-strike count on Murphy. Murphy's done a pretty good job in the outfield for the Missions this year. Now a lefty throwing in the San Antonio Missions bullpen. And that is Ryan Knock, the Minnesota lad, throwing in the bullpen for San Antonio. Now the stretch, Lobus delivers, and it's low and inside, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Missions have only reached base 3 times in this game, all on walks. Reyes walking once to the 1st, Matthew walking in the 6th. In the previous inning, Gomez walking leading off the 7th, but he was left stranded.
And that's after getting 9 hits last night.
I know. Look out, it hit him. So Murphy's aboard, and the Missions had the leadoff man on as that pitch from Lobus got away. So he will go down to first base, and with no one out, here's the right fielder Josh Beers. Fly to right and pop to short, nothing for 2.
Murphy limping a bit. That pitch, I think, got him in the upper thigh area.
Well, that hurts, and here comes Luke Bonds wanting to see that he's all right, and the trainer Juan Pena as well. Boy, you never like being hit in the leg. I mean, it's one thing getting hit in the arm. It doesn't have too much effect, but when you have to run, especially in baseball, and you get hit in a certain area, it's hurt, and it don't want it to hamper your mobility one bit. Looks like he's all right. Juan Pena will go back to the dugout, and Luke Bonds will go back to his spot along the third base coaching box. As Mears hoping that he could try to do his share to get the Missions back in this game, trailing by 6 here in the 8th inning. Lobus ready, and he deals. Slider swung on. Drive to left field. That ball is deep, but playable. And at the warning track, Savala's there to make the grab for the out as Murphy has to go back to first. Mears gave that one a long ride, and it just died at the warning track. And it's been that kind of day for the Riders and Missions respectively, as Mears hit it hard, but he lines out to left. One man out, and the number 9 hitter and catcher Jack Matthews steps in. He's bounced to third and reached on a walk, officially 0 for 1, a right-hand batter. Now Lobus has the sign, right-hander ready, and he delivers. Check swing slider, strike in the outside corner, 0-1. Quite a few day games in the major leagues, even the Midland Rockhounds and the Corpus Christi Hooks have a day game. Pitch taken ball, thrown out first, and it's thrown away and into right field. Now the runner trying to go second to throw, not in time. Throw by Mitchell, got away from Abby Melick-Ortiz in the right field. Good hustling effort by Hatcher. It's his throw to second was close, but not in time. That's going to be an E2. Enabling Murphy to get into scoring position at second base. Throw simply got away. 1-1 the count to Matthews. So the first time in this game the Missions have a runner in scoring position. And only one out in the eighth, trailing 6-0. Now the kick, the delivery, fastball missing inside, and the count 2-1. Midland leads Corpus Christi 1-0. That's in the top of the fifth at Whataburger Field. They had an 11:05 start today. 2-1 pitch, fastball inside, 3-1 the count. And as I said, the Missions need base runners as the second baseman, Ripken Reyes, waiting on deck. Walks as good as a hit, as they say, and they'll take any way they can get on base to try to get back in this game with their work cut out for them. The infield back deep. Murphy leads way to second. The pitch. Strike in the outside corner. Full count on Matthew at 3-2. Now I got an update. It's actually 5-3 Midland in the bottom of the eighth inning. Springfield and Arkansas, Tulsa and Amarillo, and Wichita and Northwest Arkansas all later on. Payoff pitch on the way. Slider outside. Ball four, and the Missions have 2 men on. First time in this game they have 2 men on. And now looks like we're getting some action stirring up now in that Frisco RoughRider bullpen as Lobus with a second walk. He's also hit a batter, and Tucker Mitchell going out to the mound. Now here's Ripken Reyes. He's walked, grounded to short, and fly to center, officially 0-2.
Just stirring up down there, not throwing yet. Looks like number 32 is up, Florencio Serrano, but he hasn't thrown any warm-up pitches, just getting ready just in case. And now here comes another man. I think that's Hales, Skylar Hales.
Reyes batting left-handed. Had the hit by pitch record a few years ago in the Texas League and minor league baseball, and takes the pitch outside, 1-0. And got a hit an awful lot last year. He's played a variety of positions for the San Antonio Missions. So on at second is Kai Murphy. Matthew on first. 1 out in the eighth, 6-0 Frisco. And the fastball is high and outside to the switch hitter, the left-hand hitting Reyes in this situation against the righty Lobus, 2-0.
Ryan Hawk in the Missions bullpen.
Yep, he's been warming up for quite a few minutes already. Overall, Reyes 1 for 14 in the Missions uniform, so he is due with runners leading away at first and second. And time called. It looks like we got a pitch clock violation called against Lobus. So he'll be charged with a ball. Now it's 3-0. The walk here will load him up. Pitch clock violation charged against Ryan Lobus, called by the plate umpire Justin Jeska. As I said, these umpires do not mess around. They pay strict attention to the pitch clock, which we see just to the right of the batter's eye in right center field. 3-0 to Reyes. Francisco Acuna on deck. Now Lobus getting a sign. The right-hander at the belt again, and the 3-0 delivery. Just below the knees, ball four, and Reyes walks, and now they're loaded up with Kai Murphy going to third. Jack Bethany going down to second, and Reyes trotting down to first. Bases loaded with only 1 out, and here's the shortstop Francisco Acuna. He's 0 for 3. Popped to third and struck out twice. Guy who hit 4 home runs in 4 straight games. It would be something if he can get a home run, but hold on. The manager, Carlos Cardoza, going out to the mound. That's going to be it. He's signaling for a new pitcher, and that's going to be it for Lobus. So a new pitcher coming in with the Missions loading up the sacks with 1 out. Pitching change brought to you by Bank.Bid. We'll mention who it is. Breaking the action in the eighth. Missions still trail 6-0. We're back in a moment. Right-hander Skylar Hales from Reno, Nevada, coming on to do the pitching for the RoughRiders. 6'4", 220-pounder, 23 years of age. drafted by Texas in the 4th round in 2023. So for Hales, it is his 11th appearance, 1-1 with a 7.45 ERA. Had 1 save in 9 2/3 innings. He's allowed 10 hits, 8 runs all earned. He has walked 4 and has struck out 8. So Lobus has departed from this ball game. Getting into trouble here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lobus going an inning and a third, and so far charged with no runs, no hits, walking 3, strikeout 1, and hitting a batter, and 3 men on base. Still his responsibility. Bases loaded with 1 man out for Francisco Acuna. The pitch by Hales, slider and a strike on the outside corner. Acuna behind on the count at 0-1. Looking down to Luke Bonts, the third base coach. Murphy on third, Matthew on second, and Ripken Reyes on first. Now the 0-1 delivery, check swing, fastball applied to Acuna. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reno, Nevada, years ago was a California League city, and then it became a AAA city. The Diamondbacks AAA farm club plays there. Now the stretch. 1-1 pitch, changeup missing inside and high, and it's 2-1. Hales enters this year as the number 25 prospect in the Rangers system. Earned the save in the first win of the season for Frisco on April 5th. But for the Riders last year, 24 games had a 2.1 ERA. Pitch, check swing, slider missing outside. 3-1, a walk here will force in a run. And keep in mind, the Missions have yet to get a hit in this game.
Wouldn't it be ironical if they get a run without a hit?
I know. That would be something. It's happened before, I think. 3-1 pitch and hit him in the helmet, and a run comes in, and hopefully Acuna's all right. And he's writhing in pain. Thank goodness for those batting helmets. Costly way to get a run batted in as Juan Pena going out now to make sure Acuna's okay. Thank goodness for those batting helmets. Just a fastball that got away. Even a hit would have been ball 4, but most important thing, hopefully Acuna's okay. Crowd doing and eyeing. So a run comes in, and the Missions now trail 6-1, but Acuna picked up his 60th RBI, getting the RBI the hard way, the one way you never like to do it, and that's getting hit, especially in the cranial area, the head. And he bent over, and hopefully he'll be okay. Again, thank goodness for those batting helmets.
Yeah, that was a great innovation when put in the big leagues long time ago, and it has saved a lot of youngsters. There was a guy, Ray Chapman, back in the 30s for the Cleveland Indians who did get hit in the head and passed away.
I know. I remember that. Well, he's all right shaking up, but I'm sure he'll go for protocol to make sure he'll be all right. Anthony Villar will come in to pinch run for him, and most likely he'll stay in the ball game to play short. But again, I think they're going to check out for any concussion possibilities. But again, the helmet. Tony Taylor was the last man I saw didn't wear a batting helmet, although he wore a special lining inside his cap when he played for the Philadelphia Phillies and the Detroit Tigers. He was the last one I've seen without a helmet. Moises Gomez, the DH, steps in, takes the strike. So the Missions on the board, trailing 6-1. 0-1 on Gomez, who's flying to right, struck out and walked. So Murphy came in to score. So Matthew is on third. Reyes on second. The pitch runner, Villar on first, and the delivery, and that swung on and missed. And the count 0-2. One thing I was pleased to see is that Acuna was able to walk off the field under his own power. Hopefully he'll be all right and nothing major. So runners lead away at every base with 1 out, a run in. Still no hits for the Missions, and the slider check swing outside the low. 1-2 as San Antonio now trails 6-1 here in the 8th at the Wolff. Time for the Missions to get something going. By the way, that run that Murphy had scored charged the record of the departed reliever just now, Ryan Lobus. Hales with the 1-2, and a call, strike 3 on the outside corner. Gomez not happy with the plate umpire, Justice Coles. He has a few words as he goes back to the dugout. So they're 2 men out. First strikeout for Skylar Hales, and now here's the third baseman Marcus Castellon. His fly to center, fouled out to the first baseman Ortiz, and fly to left in the 7th. 0-3, right-hand batter. But he's capable of making a brand new game with one swing. And there's a drive into left field, but that's going to go foul.
Wow, that had home run distance, but hooked foul all the way.
Keep in mind he had 13 home runs in an injury-riddled year last year, and the year before he had 17. So Castellon with 2 home runs this year. 0-1 on the Mission's third baseman. The runners have to go back. 0-1 delivery. Bouncing ball hit down towards second. One-handed by Chavez on to first. In time to Ortiz. 4-3 put outside, retired. The Missions finally get on the board. 1 run without the benefit of a hit. There were 2 walks, 1 error, 2 hit batsmen, and 3 men left on. At the end of 8, it's the Riders 6 and the Missions 1. 9th inning on left-hander Ryan Ock coming in to pitch for San Antonio. This pitching change brought to you by Mac.bid. Ock, no record of 5.59 ERA, his 10th appearance on relief. Alejandro Osuna leads it off. Top of the order, center fielder looks at a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 17-game hitting streak is on the line. He's walked and scored and grounded out 3 times, twice to second and once to third in the ball game. Lefty hits lefty. Ock's next pitch, high pop fly along the left field side, and that goes out of play in the count 0-2. Osuna had an RBI double to extend his hitting streak to 17 games last night, but his 17-game hitting streak on the line. Now the left-hander stretches, Ock delivers, and the pitch and a call, strike 3 on the outside corner. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Osuna caught looking, 1 out here in the 9th. First strikeout for Ock. By the way, Bradley Rodriguez went 2/3 an inning and struck out 1, everything else zeros. And now the DH, Sebastian Walcott, steps in. Struck out swinging in the 1st. Infield hit, stole a base in the 3rd. Called down on strikes to the 5th, line to left in the 7th. Right-hand batter looks at an off-speed pitch, low and away, and the count 1-0. So Walcott, 2 for 8 in the series, both hits, infield hits. Ock is ready, he delivers, and it's way outside, and the count 2-0.
And that ended Osuna's long hitting streak of 17.
Yep. Walcott holds the bat horizontally. Now the stretch and the 2-0 delivery. Swung on, drive in the left center field, and that's going to be in there for a base hit. Ball picked up by the left fielder Hoffman. And Walcott with his 2nd hit of the game, a single to left center on a 2-0 pitch. Hit number 11 for Frisco off San Antonio pitching, the first off Ock. And with 1 down, the left fielder Aaron Savala steps in. He has walked and scored in the 1st. Called on strikes in the 3rd, single and scored in the 5th, fly to center in the 7th inning. So officially 1 for 3 with the 2 runs scored. Lefty against lefty as Ock is ready. Checks runner at first. The delivery. Fastball taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate. No balls, 1 strike on Savala. Savala reached base 3 times last night with a double and 2 walks. Run scored, pitch, breaking ball low and outside, knocked down by Matthew, was in the dirt, 1-1. Missions will have Devin Ortiz, Wyatt Hoffman, and Kai Murphy due up in the bottom of the 9th. Finally getting a run in the 8th inning. Trailing 6-1, but still all hits belonging to Frisco. Throw the first runner back. On a 3-2 pitch, though, unfortunately, Francisco Acuna was hit in the head. Did drive it a run, but hard price, but he had to be taken off the field. He was shaken up, and thank goodness for the helmets that protect him from further injury. The 1-1, breaking ball, strike in the inside corner, and now Ock ahead on Savala at 1-2. 6-1 Frisco here in the 9th inning, looking to take the 2nd game of the 6-game set to even the series. Stretching again is Ock and pitching. Fastball And there's a soft looper past the third baseman Castillo down to left field for a base hit. And the throw getting back in toward third where it was covered by Ock. So a base hit to left center for Savella. And the Riders have runners at first and second. And with one man away, it'll bring up the third baseman, Caber Rodriguez, and doubled in a run in the first. Reached on the fielder's choice in the third, tripled in a run and scored in the fifth, and grounded to short in the seventh inning. So he is 2 for 4. Not ready. He's in trouble here. The pitch on the way. Fouled off to the right side. Heading toward the seats of the count. 0-1. Well, a number of the youngsters had already left. I'm sure toward the end of the month they're looking forward to having their summer vacation coming up. Now the left-hander Ryan Ock is ready. Checks the runners at first and second. The one-strike pitch. High fly ball toward the right field line. Mears giving it a chase, but he will watch this one go out of play.
I know these kids had a lot of fun today. They're screaming. They are crazy. They're wild. They're fun, but they didn't get to see any mission action so much today, so that's a little sad. But other than that, they had a great afternoon. Oh yeah, especially with a lot of the things going on between innings. 0-2 the count. Ock gets set. The delivery. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. 2 men down, so Ock recording a pair of called third strikes here in the ninth, and now the first baseman, Abimelic Ortiz, will step in. Struck out his first 2 times up, but his last 2 at-bats have been productive. Single to right to drive in a run in the fifth, and single to right in the 8th inning. Left-hand batter. Ock is ready. He stretches. The runners lead at first and second with 2 out of the ninth. 6-1 Frisco. It's a ground ball to second. To his left, and diving is Reyes. Nice play. Throw to first, in time to Ortiz. 4-3 put outside, retired. Reyes saved a run there. Well, the Riders in the 9th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Well, we got to the bottom of the 9th. Something special still happening. Missions trailing the Riders 6-1. We'll be back for more Missions action in a moment. Ortiz, the first baseman, leads off against Kyler Scales and takes the pitch off the outside corner, 1-0. Ortiz has bounced to second and struck out twice, 0-3 in this game. Now the right-hander is at the build, and the 1-0 delivery, and it's lifted foul to the first base side, heading out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. The left fielder Wyatt Hoffman on deck, and the center fielder Kai Murphy to follow for the Missions here in the 9th. They lose, they'll fall to 15-14, and they'll be 3 games back of the Riders in the South. 1-1 delivery, fastball inside, and the count 2-1. Hales went to Santa Clara University in California, same college as Randy Wind, former Ray, and the swing and a miss. 2-2. Missions were no hit back on April the 15th. And they were able to get a run when Acuna was hit by a pitch and drove in a run. Prior to that, the Missions reached when they were hit and walked. Ground ball hit to third, taken by Rodriguez. Throw to first in time to Ortiz, and Devin Ortiz of the Missions out on a 5-3 play. So he's 0 for 4. The Missions down to the last 2 outs. Gives the left fielder Wyatt Hoffman stepping in. He has struck out twice and grounded second, 0 for 3. That Rodriguez, he can pick him at third base. Good third baseman.
Yes, he is. Up in a 159 hitter. Look good in the outfield, normally an infielder, and a swing and a slow bouncer hit between the mound at home, taken by Hales. Throw to first in time to Abimelic Ortiz. 1-3 put out, 2 men away. Now it's up to center fielder Kai Murphy, who has flied to center, grounded to third, and was hit by a pitch and scored the lone run for the Missions in the 8th inning, the previous inning. Never seen one team no hit at least twice in one season, but I may be about to see it. Fly ball hit toward the left field side, and that is going to go foul. 0-1.
Well, we did pitch a couple no-hitters a few seasons ago, but as you said, get no-hit twice in one season and early in the season would be a rarity.
Very rare indeed. I mean, time is called and Murphy will step out. 6-1 Riders with 2 outs here in the ninth. And the pitch on the way. Fastball outside it high, 1-1. We'll have the post-game show coming up next, and I'll have a summary of this game as well as scores in the Texas and Major Leagues. One other game in the Texas League going on in Corpus Christi, and fastball is up high, 2-1. Last report I got, Midland was winning over Corpus Christi, as I mentioned. They had 11:05 start down at Wouterberger Field. Down the stretch, 2-1 delivery, way outside it high, ball 3, and Murphy ahead, 3-1. And he had been hit to start the 8th inning, although it looked like he was hit on the thigh, and then he scored when Acuna himself got hit. Acuna, though, left the game, walked under his own power, but they want to make sure he's okay. Fastball just outside, ball 4, and this game's still alive as Murphy reaches base for the second straight time without the benefit of hit. So that is the first walk allowed by Skylar Hales, and when it comes to a 2 down here in the ninth, Missions trailing 6-1. Here's the right fielder, Josh Beers, who's fly to right, popped to short, and lined hard to left, 0 for 3. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. A little bit of a late swing by Beers to the count 0-1. Mears had 2 homers in one game against Amarillo on the last road trip. Now holding his set is Hales to the pitch, check swing, foul ball, and now the count 0-2, and the Mission's down to the last strike. Mears a 175 hitter coming into the game.
Yeah, the last man to try to break up this no-hitter.
Couple of golf swings. Hales leaning into Tucker Mitch for the sign. Now he's ready. The 0-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. And the Missions are no hit for the second time this year. They did score a run, but a no hit ball game by the Frisco RoughRiders, beating the Missions 6-1. And I mentioned it was on April the 15th when the Missions were no hit for the first time. And that was against the Corpus Christi Hooks. Or I beg your pardon, the Northwest Arkansas Naturals here in this ballpark, 3-0. And Frisco takes the second game of the 6-game set, 6-1, and now have a 3-game lead over the Missions. So they're 18-11, and the Missions fall to 15-14. So in the ninth inning for San Antonio, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, 1 left. Stay tuned for the post-game show coming up next on Country Legends KKYX. So for Bob, Colton, and Brian, this is Stu Paul saying so long for now. Final score in this second game of the 6-game set from the Wolff here in San Antonio was Frisco 6 and San Antonio 1.